Top of the morning, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to sleep. I'm tired of being awake. Ah! Are you kidding me? Let's just assume that that'll work. Take care of the morning route. All kinds of stuffs to do today. Yes, I am voting today. It goes without saying, you guys already know who I'm voting for. Thought long and hard about it, but at the end of the day, you know, he always pissed me off a little bit. When I objectively look at the situation as far as his presidency is concerned, I have been happy overall. So, and just like every other person in the world, one of the main reasons why they vote for who they vote for is because they feel that the other people just aren't that good. You know, it's kind of like, that's what it almost feels like voting is. Either you're super passionate about the person you vote for, or the other people just are so bad that this is like the cream of the crop of shit. You know what I mean? So, and I feel like it's kind of like that's how a lot of voting like turns out to be. The congressman for my district that I'm voting for, I want to get rid of Susie Lee. Sick of that bitch. But here's the crazy thing, man. I had to do research. I didn't, like, there's not a whole lot of, like, the level of funding is totally different, right? So, I can go, it's fine. I went the wrong way, but it's fine. So the level of funding is totally different, right? So the guy that I'm voting for Congress, for my district, Nevada District 3, is Dan, I can't remember how to say his last name. He's Big Dan. I've been calling him Big Dan for so long that it's hard to remember his name. But he's Republican, former WWE wrestler. I don't know, like there's more info about the guy, but anyway, it's so early, I don't want to have to go into everything. I don't want to fucking remember right now. But anyway, yeah, so there's really cool dude, and is this the right one? Yeah. But I hadn't heard anything about him running, because usually you get flyers or you see a commercial or an ad or something. That's usually how we find out. There's like some sort of signs. I've kind of turned a lot of it off, but I've seen a lot of shit like for Susie Lee, a lot of shit saying that she should get out of office, but I haven't heard anything about a replacement. And so I was going through the candidates, I'm like, why haven't I heard of this guy? This is ridiculous. And I started going through his stuff, I'm like, dude, this dude's perfect. Yeah, hell yeah, we should get him in. And we need to get rid of Susie Lee. Like, her and her family have profited because of this disaster, you know, and they've literally pushed forward stuff to profit even more. You know, the whole thing's ridiculous, and we got to get rid of her. You know, it's just. I want what Big Brother wants. Dude, it's nice to hear from you. I've been so busy lately. Hey, 2. Appreciate it. I miss playing games with y'all, but like, on the bright side, Michael's been getting done with his schoolwork, thank God. Hello. Appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Yeah, my schedule's been crazy busy, but I'm hopefully gonna be able to set aside some time. I think, what was it, Friday or Saturday? I have to check the Discord again. But you guys were talking about a D&D campaign, and I'm like, dude, y'all need a bard, baby. Let's get some fucking status buffs in this bitch, you know? Dude, yeah, I'll play a fucking bard, man. I love doing support roles. I mean, especially with something like that, Because it's fucking, like, don't get me wrong, you could be the badass fucking hero. You go in tanking shit, and you got your healers in the back, you got your wizard going, fireball, in the background. But then, you got those support roles. You got to get those status buffs, man. Well, wait, what is it? Paladins, clerics, they're pretty good. They can do RP. I haven't in a long time. The last time I actually was able to sit down and do a Dungeons and Dragons campaign was back in Toronto. I think it was like a 2-month campaign for the 6 of us to do it, including the GM. Well, the reason why it took like 2 months was because we were drinking while we were playing. So, like, we would get so sidetracked, like we'd be all serious for like the first like hour and a half, and then the next thing you know, the next 3 hours were just us yelling and laughing at each other. So that's why it took so fucking long for one module. It's like, wait, what are we doing again? It's like, wait, what am I supposed to roll? That was back when I was living in New York, so it's been a while. So what was that? That was 4th edition. That was a while back, but. Yeah, they got all, like, the cool thing is now it's like, back then they had PDFs, but like they were hard to find and whatever. But nowadays it's like so easy, everything's digital, so I can pull it all up easily. And who's doing it? Who's DMing? Is that fucking Waylon? Is Waylon gonna DM? I know it'd be though. I have so many fucking papers, It's like, you're only level 2. Why do you have so many papers? It's like, well, I decided that when I leveled up, I wanted to take on a second class. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's like this whole Master of None scenario. I have a rogue paladin. It's like, how is that even legal? By your very nature, you're not lawful. Like, at all. Hank. Okay. Yeah, I remember it was in the voice chat. Someone was talking about it. Or no, not the voice chat. It was in the DM thing. Or in it was in one of the channels. I saw you guys on the other day. I jumped in and I wanted to chit chat for a minute to see what you guys are up to, just touch base. But then as soon as I get on, something happens. And I'm like, But things have been good. Yeah. Exactly. That's the thing about that's why I don't have fun playing it. Like, I like playing as rogues because devious little bastards. It's usually like even when I play video games, I usually chose to use a rogue or something. However, not every game is designed with the rogue at heart, like with the stealth or whatever. Like, for example, Skyrim, like, I almost always, like, make a thief. Same thing with Morrowind, all that shit. Well, Morrowind, actually, I use a lot of magic, because that magic system's broken as fuck. Not broken as in, like, you can abuse the hell out of it very easily. If you know the math. But, let's see, when I was in high school, we did a Star Wars campaign. It's Dawn of Defiance. It was a Star Wars module. So basically, and the way the transition for the Star Wars one was actually really good because they literally just changed the names of everything. Like, all the math basically worked out the same way. The only thing that they had to add in was there was a lot more ranged weapons, So, because you have your viral blades and your lightsabers and shit, but then they had to add blasters and all this shit. Like, all the different types of blasters. But that one, I was a scoundrel. No, not a scoundrel. What was it? I was a smuggler. There it is, a smuggler. And my name was Heath Ruska. Heath Ruska. And we literally had someone in our party that was a fucking Ewok. It's like, really? An Ewok? Becomes a Death Knight. Oh, that's new to me. That's kind of dope. Now, I'm sure that with different playgroups, you can... adjust story and all this stuff, because that'd be cool. Like if you're doing like a longer campaign with a group for a while and you guys are like inching your way up to level 20 and you're taking on like, you know, like multiversal threats and shit. I think that during that journey you could do something cool like, oh, this paladin fucked up or whatever, and then, you know, the subplot for this character is his redemption arc. Then you could find some way to kind of fit that into the greater narrative of the story. You know, that would be cool. You got someone in uniform walking. I like to see people in uniform walking. Bless the troops. Also, I like to see what's fucked up with their uniform. So, you know, I don't know if you've ever been like that. It's like, hell yeah, man, you're out getting lunch. I mean, you're on your lunch break. That's cool, man. You know, thank you for your service. Also, your patches are all fucked up. I've never had a max level campaign. I kind of want to see what it's like. Me neither. I think the highest we got is like level like 4, because in that modular that we did in New York, because it was one like long module, and modules they usually have like a level cap design. Our GM threw in some extra encounters that weren't in the actual modular because it wasn't designed for as many people. It was like, I think it was designed for like 3 or 4 people, and we had 5. So he brushed in a couple others just to make sure it was evened out at the end. I was younger back then, man, and my story ideas weren't as good as they were now. What was I? I'm trying to remember what I was. It's a rogue, but oh god, what was the race? It was like this. It was in the. Was it 4? I think it was 4. It wasn't 3.5. Yeah, it was 4. It was like this weird looking race that like they die every 1,000 years and they get reincarnated or some shit. I can't remember the name of them. It's like the past one. It wasn't anything cool like an elf or a halfling or whatever. You got their stereotypical dark elf rogue or whatever. You know, it's like, I want to be just like Dritz. It's like, alright, fucking try hard. Yeah, those things. I just thought that like the idea of that race was actually kind of cool. You know, it's like so many different lifetimes you live and all these different experiences you have, and you kind of grow from these experiences, but you become a new person. He's like, oh, it's kind of dope, man. So it's like you die, but you kind of come back, but you have like these memories and experiences, but you yourself are a new person. Seven Eves, the book Seven Eves, did something similar to that with the Moiran race. They go this thing called going epi, which is epi. It's a process called epigenetics, where randomly.
Hi, welcome to Starbucks. Let's start off with a hot food item today.
Yeah, actually, let me get a cheese Danish.
Okay.
And a hot mocha with whip.
Size.
Size, yeah, venti.
Okay, venti hot mocha with whip and a cheese Danish. Will that complete your order?
Yes, it will. Thank you very much.
$8.56, and you are very welcome.
Pumpkin latte. There's this girl I dated, man, and to this day I could still, because we used to go to Starbucks all the time in Korea, and it was a chai tea latte. That's what she got every time we went. When me and fake wife come, she likes to get a small hot cocoa with non-fat milk. Never had it. It's like, just the idea of it just sounds fucking dumb. Like that's how like set in my ways I am, dude. Hot cocoa's more boring. I like hot cocoa, man. I wouldn't go out of my way for it, but if it's like a cold December day and you're like, damn, hot cocoa sounds really good right now. Let me get some of them marshmallows in that bad boy. I used to love hot cocoa when I was a kid. So did my sister. My sister would drink hot cocoa whenever, man. Here's the thing, I have to turn my brain off to so much stuff because if I think about it too much, I realize that most of the food that I eat is freaking disgusting, right? So like let's take a look at like the instant hot cocoa, right? It's garbage. If you don't even have to think about it too hard. You take fucking water and you put this powder in it, and all you're doing is dispersing that powder in the water. It's not changing anything about the water. Now milk is different. Milk has water in it, but there's like proteins and shit. So the molecular structure of milk as itself is different than just the base molecule of water. So when you're mixing stuff in with it, it's different. It's like, it makes a little bit more sense. You're still just dispersing the shit in it, but for me that sounds a lot more palatable than basic ass water with this shit mixed in it. And it's like perfect example, root beer float. Root beer floats are dope, all right? I like them. They're good, you know? But when you think about it, you're taking soda and you're essentially throwing milk in it. Or cream, whatever you want to call it. That's basically what you're doing, because eventually that shit's gonna like, I don't know, like, it's just, that is like just so disgusting. Like, I'm gonna take some heavy cream and I'm gonna pour it in my root beer. Like, oh, that is just so gross sounding. But for whatever reason, like when you remove like that thought, it's like, oh, it's fine, it's whatever. Oh, you need fat. What is it? Fat, like, I don't know which fat, like trans fat, non-trans fat, but they're like, when you have fat incorporated into your diet, it allows the transmission of like essential vitamin into your bloodstream, like through your small intestine. Like there's those little hairs or like these little tiny tentacle thingies that pull up nutrients in your small intestine, and they can pull onto the fat, and it's the vitamins and the nutrients and all that shit. So here's why fat makes people gain weight. Man, I agree with you. If you can cut down the carbs, and if you can cut down, thank you. Yeah.
Would you like your receipt today?
Oh no.
Here's this.
Thank
Card
you.
is ready, and hold on for your Danish, okay?
Appreciate it. Yeah, if you remove like, essentially like, soda's a big one. Like I remember when because I drink soda every now and then, but not the way I used to. But there was a good like few months, like 4 or 5 months, I didn't even touch it. I lost so much freaking weight just from cutting out soda. But I like noodles, so noodles and potatoes. Thank you much. Have a great day. That makes you gain weight because most diets are very carb heavy, means your body is having continuous response to create insulin. In this state, the body is not metabolizing fat. Makes sense. They go straight to I like that. They go straight to the pantry. You're putting that shit right in the caboose, my friend. Yeah, my thing is exercise, man. I think everyone needs to be active. Now, given said that, I'm one lazy motherfucker as I eat my cheese Danish. But I took my meds this morning and I have to have food with it, otherwise I'll get a stomachache. kind of comes from pure laziness. And like, when I say exercise, I don't mean you have to like go to the gym and stuff. Like, just getting up and doing something, you know? Like, I like to go to the park with the boys, you know? It's not, those guys have so much energy. It's like, ugh, I get exhausted. It's like, what the heck happened? You know? It's like, get your body moving, you know? Like that when people say exercise, they take it to heart and they think too much. Oh, that means I gotta go to the gym, I gotta run, I gotta work out. Like, yeah, those things will definitely help expedite the process of like losing weight, get your body in shape, all this stuff. You know, condition yourself. But just doing more than you usually do, you know, like getting out there. Like, it's simple stuff. Like, let's say you go to the store, right? And a lot of people want to park super close to the front, right? Park far back. Yeah, it's going to be inconvenient as hell, but just that extra walking that you're going to do. Like, people don't realize it. When you're, like, grocery shopping, you're walking far more in the store than you are just from the entrance to your car. So that little extra distance isn't really a lot. It's like a mental inconvenience, but on the grand scheme of things, if you did a step count, you're walking more while you're in the store. So little things like that to implement are good ways to exercise, or to add some level of activity, I should say. I wouldn't consider necessarily walking, like adding an inconvenience to your life by walking more. I wouldn't consider that necessarily exercise. But extended walks I would consider exercise. So for example, me parking further away from the entrance to a store wouldn't be exercise. It's more activity. But going to the park and, you know, walking around the loop at the park a couple times, yeah, that's exercise because I'm doing it for an extended period of time. You know, it's, I don't know, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess, well, by that logic, going grocery shopping, exercising, Mace Valor, like, all right, you got me. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Oh, shit. Little bastard. Look what Michael pulled. I picked him up a pack. Yeah, buddy. Been wanting one. Well, he's wanting one of these for his deck. But the thing about his deck is he gets so many landfall triggers, it's nuts, man. And so that's gonna help him out tremendously. Like, we were playing the other day, and like, what was it, turn 4, and he had like 8 freaking lands, and he had Omnath out, Locus of Rage. Like, I was like, what the hell? And so that was the moment. Was like, all right, I have to go through my deck again. Because I've realized that I've been messing around with my deck, but I haven't been sitting down and actually analyzing what my deck's doing. Because I've been adding cards in and taking some out, but it's like I feel like I'm slowly moving away from the whole Absent Mill. So either I need to switch up my commander and focus more on +1/+1 counters, or I need to kind of backtrack on things. So, also, I have World Shaper in my deck, but I think that might be better in Mike's. I can't remember what World Shaper does. Something about milling and attacking, and then when it dies, all the lands from your graveyard come to the field. Which, in Mike's, actually the card I need in Mike's deck, not that he necessarily needs it because he's not like he's milling himself or anything, but Crucible of Worlds. It's like $60. And there are more budget alternatives to Crucible of Worlds. It's like a 2-drop. I can't remember the name of it. It's from Amonkhet, but it's like a 2-drop creature, and you can play its abilities. You can play lands from your graveyard. So something like that would work in his deck. I think it's like $10-15, something like that. I can't remember how much it is exactly, but yeah, it's something I noticed. So my deck was mill with keyword soup, basically, right? Because that's Catherall, it's my commander. So I want to mill myself, but the cards I want to mill have lots of keywords in them. You know, Death Touch, Lifelink, Trample. You know, like that's what I want to get rid of. But I noticed that I wasn't doing that. So, like I have so I still have a bunch of cards that have a lot of keywords on them, but not on the same level that I did before. Like, what is it? Like, is it Abomination? No, which one is it? Not Abomination Angel. That's the landfall one from Zendikar. That's in this deck. Oh, I can't even remember. There's an angel I have that's got like 3 or 4. Oh, and then I have that weird dragon dinosaur thing that it's got like a shitload of keywords on it. Well, I have a whole bunch of them. But I needed to kind of trim the fat. So like Soul of Innistrad, right? I like that card. It's a cool card, but it's expensive as hell, man. It's a 6-drop. Is it a 6-drop? Pretty sure it's a 6-drop. I like the fact that I can play it from my graveyard, so that gives me, you know, some little, you know, graveyard play with it. But it's like I'm not always going to be discarding it. Let's see. Titanoth Rex I like because I can cycle it, and when I cycle it, I could put a keyword on somebody. I definitely need to make some adjustments because I liked what I had before, but I've noticed that I've deviated on my own so far away from it. And over the course of time, I've been going more Golgari instead of Abzan. So my white presence is getting thinner and thinner. Like I only have 2 white basic lands, and then maybe I think about 4 lands that also tap for white, and then there's some that tap for any color. But lands are a big one, man. I'm telling you. If you were to take just your, like, let's say the pre-con decks, there are so many ways you can make a pre-con deck better. But one of the best ways to make a pre-con deck better is land. And when me and Michael, whenever we get a pre-con and we make evaluations to it, we sit down and we always like go through and we like, all right, here's how many basics we have. Here's all these tap lands. What can we change out these tap lands for? And we try to go off of what we already have, right? So there are some tap lands that we don't mind having because they have some form of utility. For example, like the temples, right? Like Temple of, well, in my deck, Temple of Silence, right? You get to scry 1. Yeah, it comes in tapped, which, you know, it's a slow down a little, but you get to scry 1. It's a little bit of a benefit. Let's see, I might want to like pick up some shock lands before they start going up in price because I feel like it's going to happen. And that's the thing. That's a cool thing about playing in Commander is I don't have to get play sets. I literally just have to get 1 of each of the shock lands, and then I can just interchange them from the decks. So that's kind of what we've been doing. So it just sucks when we play against each other. So if like, if we use my Abzan deck versus the Orzhov deck, well, Godless Shrine is in the Orzhov deck, and I'm not going to switch that out, you know, because we have like at the house we have like our own internal meta for how we got to do things and keep it kind of fair because we're all drawing from the same pool of cards. Hey, what's going on? Can I get a large Diet Coke? And that's it.
No problem. Large Diet Coke is going to be 108. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Oh, I know, man. I think I might have to just pick one up. I got, what was it? Not, what's the fetch land? The Dimir fetch land. And there is a Simic deck I'm looking to make. So here's the thing, when I make decks, it's weird. So, like the Orzhov one, that one's the one that we're, over time, we're structuring it to become competitive level. But there's still more high pricey cards I need to get for it. Like Marsh Flats, for example. But I think Marsh Flats is like $50 or something. So we just have a proxy in it for the time being. Just from when we play at the house, but obviously when we go to the store, I have to change it out. I just change it out for what? Terramorphic Expanse? It's the same thing, it comes in tapped, it sucks. I have a Fabled Passage, but that's in my, I should put Fabled Passage in Mike's deck, but I have it in mine. I'm not gonna lie, I think Fabled Passage is probably one of the best fucking lands to come out in a long time. I love that fucking card, man. That thing is so freaking dope. Because it gives you mana fixing early game, and then if you draw it later, it might as well be any land. Because then you can just go get a basic of whatever color your choice is, and if, you know, it comes on tap. So it's like, dude, this is awesome. There's value. There's so much value there. And I think depending on where you find it, I think it's like the market price is like $10, but I've seen listings for like $8. Oh, it's actually probably less than that, now that I think about it. And that market's gonna kind of not be too bad for a while because it was reprinted in 21, Core Set 21, which is, I'm really glad. I hope they make that a staple.
Hello, Dr. Echo.
Thanks.
Do we need the receipt?
Oh no. It's upside down.
There you are.
Appreciate it.
What's up, Nikki?
Oh. Yeah. What are you talking about? Oh my God! All right, hold on. Give me just a second. I'll get into that for you. One second. Oh my God.
Large diet?
Yep. Thank you much. Have a good one. No. Last time we went to play Magic, Michael whooped everyone's ass. Did I not mention that? He fucking mopped the floor with these people with this fucking pre-con that he just put some upgrades in. Like, he was fucking people up, man. Oh my God. And the only reason why Michael, like, he took out 2 of the 4 people at the table. And the only reason why Michael lost, because he had more life than everybody. Because his field was just fucking, oh my God, what is this? Like, it was fucking insane. The only reason why Michael lost is because the last dude in the game with him that had like, I think he had like 6 or 7 life, and Michael was just gonna like fucking monkey stomp his ass. The guy top decked what he needed for his infinite combo and won. But I was proud of him because that was when I was fucking over, you know, being salty about the whole proxy situation at my table. And Michael was doing fucking great. And that was with the fucking pre-con, you know? That Land's Wrath pre-con's actually fucking pretty good. And I think, how many adjustments did he make in it? I think he only made like 7, most of which were lands. And we're still filtering through it, you know. As we take a look online, we're kind of seeing what different strategies come out, seeing what other people are doing. Okay, how do we want to kind of do the same thing? Like, what do we have that we can trade out for it? I'm like super proud of him. Oh yeah, so you guys had mentioned the whole Scute Swarm mutate thing, right? And I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I tried to, I was like, what cards do I have in my collection that are, you know, Simic, and all right, I'll put these in, I guess that'll work, and I'll try to do this strategy. And I actually play tested it. It was bad, horrible. And then I went online and I looked at one of the I can't even really touch it, but there's a Scute Swarm deck. It is nasty, dude. Because when Scute Swarm mutates, it mutates into whatever's on top of and under it, you know? Like, and that's the thing, when I was building it, I totally forgot about that. It's like that becomes the creature with that ability. So of course when it makes a copy of itself, it's gonna be exactly that. So, and there are some like fucking, it's just nasty, man. Oh my god. It is, dude, I love, mutate's such a fucking, it's such an awesome ability. No, it's like one of those things that I knew, but I just wasn't like being very mindful of it. So when it comes to EDH, that's the one where I kind of like, I take a look at what's online, but I kind of make my own thing. Whereas with standard and like historic on MTGO or on Arena, it's just, I'm not, something about 60 card and just getting the ratios just right is rough for me. So it's not like the best card in the world. It's the split current. It's essentially a kicker card. It's a kicker legendary creature that every time a card's kicked, you get copied a spell or whatever. So that in of itself is cool, but in order to activate that ability, you have to remove 2+1/+1 counters. So there's some kind of drawback on it. So it's like, okay, so you want to be able to make sure that commander. So here's the thing, as a commander, he gets exponentially bigger by no choice of your own. Because if he goes back to the command zone and you bring him back, he gets +1/+1 counters on it for every mana spent to cast him. So even if you're forced to spend mana on him, he's essentially a 2-drop. You can bring him out as a 2, copy a spell, get rid of him, and then you could bring him back again, but you have to play the commander tax, which is +2. But then he comes back with 4. You know, there's a lot of utility in him, and I really want to be able to use him, but that makes a weird theme for me, where am I going to focus on +1/+1 counters, or am I going to focus on copying spells? So that's where it gets kind of weird. So I'm trying to like look at different cards that kind of like do a good marrying of the two, because I don't want to fit myself into one strategy or the other, you know. Oh, thank you very much, but unfortunately I'm not old enough. Five more years. I will run for president in 2028. How about that? President, these nuts. I know, I'm like 10 years old. Speaking of voting, I'm gonna go drop this shit off, and then I'm gonna go vote. Yeah, I'm old. I'm an old man. All right. I don't know if I should just focus on everything else. As always, I'm your so glorious, and we need normal people in office. I mean, I get the sentiment, but I don't think come on, man. It's like, you don't want me to be president, all right? Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm so stressed out. I'd get pissed off way too easily. Fuck. I just got home. I gotta go take care of this. You guys take care. You guys have a good one. Go vote. Let your voice be heard. Also, you can use it to get to work. Politicians are robbing us blind. Yeah, they are. I will definitely agree with you. That's why I'm hoping that Susie Lee, my congresswoman for our district, gets voted out, because her and her family profit heavily off of COVID by their own interaction. And that's why we want Big Dan for District 3. I hope to God Dan gets it. If Susie Lee gets reelected, I'll be so upset. And it's like people don't realize how, like, the people that you're getting these votes from, your base, you screwed them over. But the people are like so like unaware of shit that goes on that it's like, oh yeah, Susie Lee, progressive, all this stuff. And it's like, you do realize that she fucked you guys over, right? Like, not even like lightly. Yeah, go for it. Vote libertarian. I have a weird relationship with libertarians. Like, I have a lot of libertarian views, but like, I think it's kind of more of a mindset. I'd have to actually like probably really think about how I would want to word it, because I've interacted with some libertarians that it's just like they make me not want to be libertarian. If that makes sense. There's a lot of things, like the whole war on drugs is fucking bullshit. You know, I'm all about like self-thing. It's like a personal mindset for why they have those views that they have. And I don't want a blanket statement. I'm a millennial as well. I'm not voting because I'm a... Thank you guys for dropping by. Much love. Mace, who you vote? Man, who do you think I'm voting for? Get out of here. Get out of here. Come on, dude. You already know. Which I already have some reservations. He did kind of piss me off these last few months, but overall I was happy with his previous presidency, and I do want to see him succeed, so I might as well give him the full 8 years to fucking make that happen. I'm not voting because I don't give a shit. Oh. Alright, as always, you're oh so glorious and beloved Mace Valor. Signing.